today I am going to answer some juicy Q&A questions. I used to do this on my main channel like all the time, and I feel that we should revisit. So I'm answering questions as we speak. We're having live submissions. Well, not by the time you see this, it won't be live, but for context, we're live streaming. People are asking me questions and I'm going to answer them. So let's get to it. First one up, can we convert you to a red? I would say no. And I'm proudly wearing a blue tracksuit as I say this. I've already got rumors that I'm a glory hunter anyway. So I feel like one of the worst things I could do is actually move and be a red. And I prefer supporting a better football team, to be honest with you. So I'll take that and never mention it again. Question from Jack. Would you ever share what happened on the worst day of your life so far? For context, on my Snapchat, I put a throwback to, I think I took a selfie one day last year. You know when you look back and you're like, oh, what was I doing on that day? And then you remember that it was actually probably one of the worst days of your life so far. But the thing is, because I'm quite a private person, I don't really share anything to do with my personal life. I obviously share when I'm here, but just, yeah, I probably wouldn't. It's not really something that, and it's not also, I think my Twitch audience will know that last year, well, even it's basically ever since, more or less, but because it's not gone away. Last year was struggling with some stuff. It's not to do with me, but yeah. And I was still showing up and still streaming, which I'm proud of, that I've even stayed consistent, because I think most people would not. But I don't think I would share just because it's not me. And yeah, maybe one day if it can help other people, but where it's a point of what's going on is not resolved and it won't ever be resolved, is kind of like, yeah. Anyway, let's move on, because it's like a dark and it seems really cryptic. So yeah. Am I watching Ballers League? This video will be out before then, but I am going to the final four of Baller League, and maybe we should do some predictions. I kind of feel like United are gonna take it. United, not United. United. I think that they've just been strong all season, and it'll be a good story. So I'm gonna go with United. Would you like to go on Bake Off? Do you mean Great British Bake Off? Well, honestly, that's like part of my lore, and I'm so upset that I still haven't been on Bake Off, considering the baking videos that I used to do. And I used to have a baking series on my YouTube. I feel like it's only right that I go on an episode of Bake Off. I feel like it's actually a crime that I've not been on one. So that's definitely, there's a few things in my life that I'm kind of manifesting that I want to do. I'm going to whack Bake Off on the list as well. Another thing on the list is they're making a movie of The Sims, and I want to just have one line. I just want one line in the movie. I don't care. I'll be an extra. I can't act. Just give me one line so that like I'm part of it. I just want to be part of it. And I also do want to be on a radio station in GTA. Like that would be a life goal of mine. So I'm not like, I hate putting things out into the atmosphere because I get embarrassed if I fail, but those are definitely my things. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Rhea Ripley or Haaland? From where two worlds collide. So Rhea Ripley is my favorite wrestler. Obviously Haaland is really good for City. I think that though, because Haaland was injured a little bit last season, and I don't know. I feel like I'm more inclined to say Rhea Ripley because she's just her own person, and I think she's pretty sick. And where I'm just really loving wrestling at the moment. And I do feel like City won a lot before Haaland came. And I do value Haaland, and I think he's a great player, but I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley for that reason. Who is your favorite person in the world? That's such a difficult question. Do you want an interesting answer, or like, I don't know if I could pick one person, because obviously you want to say like a family member or something. You can't pick one of a family member. My favorite person in the world is Rhea Ripley. My favorite person in the world, I actually don't know. Me. I'm my favorite person in the world. If you don't back yourself as the best person in the world, then like, who are you? I'm my favorite person in the world. I know that I am a nice person with good intentions. I'm a great friend. This weekend, I'm going to be a bridesmaid again for the third time in a year. This will be my 7th time being a bridesmaid. Like, I know I'm a good, valued friend. I know that I'm hardworking. I know that I'm funny. I know that I've got a lot to offer, and I know that I'm really fit. I hate how, as English people, we're like not allowed to admit things like that, but who cares? I'm my favorite person. Thank you very much. What is your favorite music band? So my music taste is so weird. Like, it changes all the time, guys. at the moment of recent, I've been going through my new metal phase, which is like Linkin Park, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, all of that. If we're talking band, it makes me seem that it's going to be more of like a rock band or something. So I would probably say Linkin Park for that reason. But like, I love boy bands and I love R&B groups and things like that. So it's so hard. I love R&B. My favorite R&B artist is Donnell Jones or Usher. Okay, question from Gian on Twitch. Is there a person you've either worked with that you would never work or collab with again? Yeah, I think yes is the answer to that. There's definitely like one or two that I wouldn't work with again. Do you know what? On a set, it's so hard. I think with my own content, there's probably no one that I wouldn't work with again at the moment because I just work with people that I'm comfortable around. But when you're on set with production companies or working for other people, then you would obviously work with people that you wouldn't naturally work with. And if it's never been awkward, but there's, you know, yeah, I'd say one or two. If Sidemen ever did a big YouTube hide and seek and they invited you, would you do it? I actually would, because on both of the football stadium one and then the one that they did on the island, I was invited to both of those and I had to work. No, the football stadium one I was working, and then for the one on the island I was actually in Ibiza with some of the girls. So like there was a few of us that didn't do it. I don't know if Talia would have done it anyway, but like there was a few of us that were out there on holiday, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, I'd try it. I don't know how good I'd be. I also have this thing, I don't know if anyone else gets it, where if I'm hiding I need a wee. Does anyone else get that if they played hide and seek before? I just need a wee. I think G gets it because she's been in a few of the videos. Have you opened the Charizard box? No, it's not. It's unopened. I have a lot of figurines behind me that I have opened, and people were saying online the other day they thought it was bad that I'd unboxed my Final Fantasy VII figurines. I'm sorry, it's so boring. I know some people get them to either resell or, you know, in the future get them valued. I don't care. I want to look at my figurines, and if that makes it controversial, who knows. Dream holiday place or somewhere that I've wanted to go to. I'd love to go back to Tokyo and travel more of Japan, because when I went it was for work. So although we got to do such fun things, we did the Mario Kart go-karting around the center and went to so many gaming arcades, it was not on my own time, so I definitely want to go back there. Question, Alexa Bliss or Liv Morgan? So I had not a rant, I'm not going to call it a rant, but I think that their branding is so similar. Obviously, the more I'm getting into it, the more I can distinguish between them. But when I first saw both of them, I was just like, are they this the same? They need to have something that makes them more distinct. In answer to your question, I'm going to say Liv Morgan, even though she's not my favorite wrestler by any means. I think that Alexa Bliss cosplays Harley Quinn. I think that her brand should be way more unique than just her dressing up as Harley Quinn. And that might upset a few people in the WWE community, but I stand by it. Question, if you didn't do YouTube or presenting, what would you do and why? So before I did YouTube, I worked full-time. I worked at IBM doing project management. I'd either probably still be just in and around the tech world, maybe try and make my way up the ladder. I think I personally would have left IBM and gone to a startup, because around that time everyone that had started the same time as me was doing that, because, and this is no shade on IBM, but I think it was just a thing with the big companies. When we originally started as grads, we started on a really good salary in grad scheme wise. I don't know what it is now, but when we progressed past being graduates, they barely upped our salary, but the experience and the qualifications that we gained by working for a company that's that big, we were being really underpaid on the market, so everyone was leaving. So I reckon I'd probably have just left and maybe just carried on doing that, or I would have crashed out completely, quit, and I don't know, living a soft life, would find a sugar daddy or become a wag or something. Why not? Who is your role model, if you have any? I don't think I have a role model, but I look up to like other people that do similar things to me. So Maya Jama, for example, especially in presenting, she's just so good at her job, and I also just respect how she doesn't give a fuck. She literally just does what she wants, and there's something so admirable about that, because I think when you're a female and you do presenting, particularly sport, you are often ushered into a role where they try and make you too serious, or it's kind of like you dim your own light to be taken seriously. And I found that was happening to me when I was was working in football a bit. So that's why I kind of pulled away. I still do presenting, but I love doing radio and I love doing things in music and more entertainment stuff because I feel like I can still maintain my own personality at the same time. So yeah. Am I a natural redhead? I am. I have extensions in my hair and I do dye it more red than it naturally is. My hair's lighter than this, but yeah. Born and raised ginger. Are you not mates with the Australian one? Leah Houghton. I don't know her. I haven't met her. I've only seen her on Inside and obviously TikTok, but she seems cool. Like I haven't met her myself, but she's friends with a few people that I know, so she must be nice. Any plans to attend WWE? I want to go to all the shows I can go to. I really loved seeing it in person. That's where I saw it for the first time. So yeah. Question: why do you think a lot of your followers have a problem with a lot of the things that you do and the things that you receive? This is a really interesting question, Jack. Thank you. So I do get a lot of love as well. I think people, because I often react to negative stuff, people don't think that I get nice comments, but I get so much. It's probably like 95%. No, I'm gonna say 90% positive, maybe even less. But anyway, it's more positive than negative. But the reason I always respond if people are rude or aren't nice to me is because it's just like sometimes people just need to be told to shut up. I think that on the internet, because you're just behind a screen and you can mask behind a fake profile or whatever, people just feel so entitled to have an opinion. Like if you're walking down the street and you walk past someone, you don't like the shoes that they're wearing, most often you're not going to say anything, you just keep it moving. But on the internet, people just want to put their 2 pence in all of the time and they haven't been taught otherwise. So I'm just like, I just kind of sometimes like to make an example of people. I think that it's a combination of me having quite a sarcastic personality, and for some reason initially, and I've always said this, when people first meet me, for whatever reason, they're so unsure of me. I think I can be quite a monotone. I have quite a monotone voice. I also have a look which is kind of resting bitch face. So I think I give off a little bit of don't talk to me, kind of like standoffish vibes. Then once you get to know me, I'm actually really nice, and it's probably just like a front. So I think on the internet, a lot of people see me and they see that, and then they instantly are, for whatever reason, just want to drag you down. Also, when you're doing well, people, if they've got something going on in their own life that they are unhappy with, they want to deflect. So if they see someone that's really pretty, or they see someone that's doing really well in their job or getting free gifts, then people don't like it. I get also the view of the rich get richer because they get more things for free. Or for example, the Switch 2 came out the other week and I got gifted one, and I understand to people that would be like, oh, she can definitely afford a Switch 2. Why does she deserve to get it for free above other people who aren't in a position necessarily to afford a Switch 2, which I completely get. And I would, if the opportunity to work with Nintendo wasn't there, I fully would have gone and purchased one myself. But at the same time, this is part of my job, is to play games online and review games and share an experience. So although people see it as, oh, I would love to be gifted a Switch. I think someone even commented being like, I'd love to be gifted a Switch 2 just because I'm a woman. And I'm like, they have just come across my content, are so ignorant and haven't seen the 6.5 years work that I've put in to build a platform to work with these companies and like not be credible, because I also just don't think what's my opinion, but like I think that I've built enough of a platform to want to be able to showcase things. So I know that I've worked hard to get here. Also, I think where I'm interested naturally in things that are quote unquote, because I don't agree with this, quote unquote more like male hobbies and interests, particularly the gym stuff. Whenever I post in the gym, I get always men, it's never women, always being like, you need to do this instead, you should correct your form, like you should avoid doing this, don't bench that, it's too heavy for you, you shouldn't, like just relentless comments. And I think it's because for some reason they feel like they have a better opinion on gym, because it's like, oh, we go to the gym. Even the jet wash, when I was jet washing a car, I got hate for that as well. At the same time, I don't really give it, I actually don't, if I'm having an off day, then I'll properly like go in, but it doesn't keep me up at night. And I like showing that you can still be resilient and actually not give a shit and carry on. What is your biggest regret? Okay, Pumbaa. Shout out to Pumbaa, by the way, guys. What is my biggest regret? I know, do you know what I hate? When people say that they don't have regrets. They're like, oh, I love my life. I don't live life with any regrets. Well, I live life with with regrets. I won't lie to you. I'm very self-critical, and I often look back and get embarrassed about things and cringe. And I think that's fine. I think it's fine to regret some things, you know? Biggest regret, I mean, there's a few that I wouldn't say online, but in terms of like things that you guys would care about, biggest regret is... Do you know what I hate? I get so embarrassed asking people for favors and like asking people to collab. So my biggest regret, I guess, is not having the guts to, you know, get people to be like, do you want to do a YouTube video with me? Like, do you want to do this? Because I hate being that person that's always asking people for things. And I think that I have definitely, obviously I've done well in my career and stuff, but I definitely have limited some stuff because I get too embarrassed to ask people for favors. So it's a kind of a regret. What else would I regret doing? Done so many videos. There's probably a few videos that I regret doing. Oh, okay. A few years ago, I was prioritizing a lot of my presenting work, and I guess I don't regret doing any of the presenting work at all. I regret not giving enough time to keep up with the YouTube stuff, because I think it's made it quite hard to come back into doing all of my YouTube videos. So I'd say, yeah, I regret not being able to. I regret being a control freak in some situations, because now where I have a YouTube channel manager, and it helps a lot with the editing and managing just general uploads and things like that. I regret not doing that sooner. And I regret drinking so much in my mid-20s. Can I say that online? Yeah. When I used to drink, like used to go out and drink, I don't regret going out. Like, it was such a good experience. Like, I had a whole phase where I used to go out a lot. But I learned that if I drink alcohol, I will feel really down and anxious for about 3 days afterwards. But at the time, I know it now, but I still drink sometimes, but I know the feelings. But at the time, I was drinking and thinking, oh, I think I'm depressed. Like, I genuinely thought, I just feel so sad all the time. I have no motivation. And looking back, I think it was more to do with the fact that I'm just drinking. So good. What's the biggest contract you've turned down? Do you know what? I think people, this is the last question I'll answer. I think people see whenever you do like a brand deal and you have to put ad in the caption. I'm so lucky to work with so many brands. And I think people see that and think that I just take every brand that I get given. But I've learned over the years that quality over quantity. So I would say I turn down about 85% of work that I get given. I am quite particular now as to what I go for. I just want it to be stuff that I'm genuinely interested in. So if you see me sort of promoting something, it has to be like something that I think is cool and I think is something that I'm really interested in. So there's definitely been a few things over the years that I would say, if we're talking about regrets, definitely a couple in there, but there is always more to the story behind some things and campaigns, and that's all I'll say, because I'm actually not allowed to talk about one of them. So good. Right, anyway, that's the Q&A. We're gonna wrap the Q&A there. Hopefully that was insightful in a way.